how's it going? It is all the news, and my name is Adam, and we've got some interesting news today. We're looking at this first little section, which is the Sea Witch is appealing for a new trial in the Johnny Depp defamation case. Is the Sea Witch going to get anywhere? The answer is no. That's not going to happen at all. We're looking at a petition. We want Johnny Depp back as Captain Jack Sparrow. And we're looking at the Tom Brown Spring 2023 ready-to-wear collection. Ready-to-wear? Well, ready-to-wear, that means, they actually want to sell you this stuff. And do you want to look like a Chinese sofa? Because that's what you will look like. It's a gigantic sofa. Anyway, let's see what the Sea Witch is up to today. There she is, seeking a new defamation trial against her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, claiming the bombshell court battle she lost was stacked against her. No, I think you'll find it was your lies. She's dressed up as a magician today. The 36-year-old looks 46. Aquaman, in quotation marks. It should be actress, in quotation marks. But there you go. Filed her appeal earlier this month, arguing the exclusion of therapy notes, right, in which she reported being abused that led to a unfair trial. So the fact that the court said she couldn't have her therapy notes introduced as evidence resulted in an unfair trial. You can go to your therapist and claim anything. You can literally claim that you were abducted by aliens and anally probed for for weeks, and the good old therapist has to write it down and then get called into court, and he has to read out his notes and explain to the court that you said that you got kidnapped by aliens. But the veracity of this, the truth of this, is you weren't kidnapped by aliens, and there was no abuse, and there was nothing. But you can't just go to something and make a claim. And considering how long she'd been planning this, no. This does not fly at all. The evidence had been ruled out as hearsay. Exactly. We've learned about hearsay in this trial. We learned a lot about it. Hearsay by Fairfax County, Virginia judge. There she is. The trial court improperly prevented the jury from considering several separate incidents in which Heard reported. There's the problem right there. Also known as the word made up. Depp's abuse to a medical professional. The Sea Witch's lawyers wrote in the 68-page of waffle and legalese dated November 23rd. If not reversed, this is a classic slippery slope argument. They always try these ones. Problem with slippery slope arguments is they make your case look incredibly weak, and it's not the duty of the court to concern itself with social distance and social positioning and where society is going to go. That's not their job. Their job is to analyse the law and to make a decision based on law. It's not there to make a decision based on morality and opinion and prospective incidents and future planning. It doesn't work that way. So slippery slope arguments, never good. If not reversed, the trial court's exclusion of contemporaneous reports of domestic abuse to medical professionals will make it more difficult for other abuse victims to prove allegations of abuse and likely deter them from coming forward, they wrote. Well, that's the old slippery slope argument, isn't it? It's if you exclude these hearsay evidence of anything you'd like to say to the therapist and you'd like them brought in as evidence, they're saying this will stop people coming forward. But that's just the way of it. You can't go to a person that you pay and say loads of stuff and then demand that be produced as evidence or binding evidence. It's just not good enough. It has to be independent and it has to be provable. So Depp, 59, was awarded loads of money in the verdict in June after arguing that the Sea Witch Washington Post op-ed in which she made claims of domestic abuse was defamatory, yes, and it was found by the court to be entirely defamatory, and that's why he got 10.35 million, and that 0.35 was actually 5 million in punitive damages punishment for lying. That's basically what it is. Attorneys for the Sea Witch also argued the trial should have taken place in California, which would have been very useful for their side because they could have used the SLAPP legislation, SLAPP, which is a strategic legislation against something. Can't remember the full name of it, but it's designed to stop major corporations using defamation law to silence critics. And she would claim that she's a major corporation or business or a person who's famous, and so therefore she can use that to strike down this trial. And that would have been unfair because Johnny Depp won, and so the trial would have been struck down against a person who would have actually won the trial if it had been allowed to go forward. So it should have been allowed to move out of California and to Virginia, and that's where the Washington Post servers are. So that's where it was actually published and held, and that's good enough reason, and they got away with it. And you can't re-argue that point. It's already been argued by the court of first instance, and you can't re-argue it because you lost. Virginia was an entirely inconvenient forum with no connection to Depp or meaningful connection to his claims. Apart from that's where the Washington Post servers are, and that's basically all you need to know about that, really. The case should never have gone to trial because another court had already concluded that Depp abused her on multiple occasions. The other court trial is a completely different circumstance, and there's a principle in law called stare decisis, which is let the decision stand, but in this case it has to be the same decision and the same facts, and it wasn't. It was a different thing entirely, with different parties and different facts, a different jurisdiction. The whole thing is just different. So no, that doesn't fly either. The Pirates of the Caribbean star has already filed his own appeal, and this is going against that one count that the Sea Witch won, which was the Waldman statements. So that could be a complete victory for Johnny Depp. It does not look good for the Sea Witch, in my personal opinion. It does not look good because of the principle, again, as I mentioned, of stare decisis, which means let the decision stand. If you're going to overturn a verdict, then you need to have significant and compelling evidence. Jury verdicts are seen as almost sacred. They are the position where society is injected into the judiciary. It's the judicial system suddenly has the members of the public in it, and that makes it quite special. So overturning a jury verdict has to be significant, otherwise the faith in the system starts to become eroded, and that's not something the judiciary wants to happen. So the evidence has to be compelling, it has to be important, it has to be significant, it has to be something that the Court of Appeal judges can point to and say this is why. And nothing I've seen here is of significance, of any significance. So it does not seem viable at all. So there you go. That's my personal opinion. What it's worth, I do not know. Not much, as usual. So what else is going on? Let's have a look. Oh, there's a petition. I will leave the link in the description. If you want Johnny Depp back as Captain Jack Sparrow, why not sign the petition? Doesn't cost anything, and you can jump on board. There's 879,694 people have signed up. Let's try and get to 1 million. That would be super nice. And we try and get Johnny Depp back as Captain Jack. I mean, it goes out to Jerry Bruckheimer. This whole petition goes to 2 people. Like it. I like it very much. So that's the petition. I'll put the old link in the old description. And what else is going on? We've got Tom Brown. Do you want to look like a Chinese sofa? Because that's possible. So this is the spring 2023 ready-to-wear collection. Ready-to-wear meaning this is the stuff they actually want you to buy. This is not the haute couture, like high-level conceptual craziness. This is ready-to-wear. They're going to sell this stuff. You're going to buy it. You're going to wear it, and you're going to like it. Let's find out, shall we? So look 1, Chinese sofa. Look 2, it's a lot of block colours. It's a huge amount of red, then white, then black, in layers. Big thing, and quite dramatic. I don't know if it's ready to wear. To be honest, it's a lot of stuff going on here. So I'll let your thoughts on that one. We're going to see this a lot. It looks like a sort of primary school arts teacher coverall, and she's got paint all over her. The kids have been crazy that day. She's got a bag. She's off to see Alice in Wonderland, and she's having a fine old time. She's done too many mushrooms. What's going on? Here's her friend. Yeah, as I say, you're going to see this a lot. We've got this pastel purpley thing. It's the art smock from the 1970s, and she's been painting on her face, and you're not supposed to ask her about it. What else? Again, it's very much of a muchness. Now we've got this sort of cape that's coming down here with its own sort of yoke on here. We've got a cape, we've got a secondary layer of capage, we've got a tertiary layer of capage. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of capery. That's a lot of capering going on right there. What else is going? As I say, you're going to see this a lot. We've got yokes. We've got. It's not really a cape. I'm going to call it a cape anyway. It looks like sort of a peach-coloured silk with bold white outlining, dots on the face because obviously goes without question, and ridiculous. What else? She's got like huge amounts of ruffles. As I say, this is the ready-to-wear collection. This is stuff you're meant to be out on the streets in Sainsbury's, buying your milk and your eggs, and looking like a crazy person with your gigantic ruffles and spots on your face. No one knows why. More of the same. It's very similar, and we've got this triangular, gigantic silhouette and spots on the face with this. Can we zoom in? Oh yes. And I want to say beekeeping, another beekeeping outfit, but I think the bees would get through there, and that would be unfortunate. And we have the same thing in a darker. Are we going to go with black, or are we going to say this is a dark blue? I'm going to say black on there, and it's very much of a muchness. It's the yoke, it's the silk, it's this weird silhouette thing, and more of the same, different colorways. More of the same, tapered in waist slightly, and more of the ruffles. It's a slight change, variation of each one, which is very strange. We got some central ruffles around here. She doesn't like people anywhere near her, which is fine. Again, we've got the red now. We've got red colorways. We've got green colorways. We've got sort of Barbie pink. We've got this maroony purpley colour. This is quite a nice colour, but it is very much of a muchness, and I like the ruffles in the middle. Stripiness is good, but it's still much of a muchness. With 22 pages already are very, very similar, and again, very similar. We're up to this. It's the same thing, but shorter, which I think works a lot better because all the rest of it is just a lot of material to be dealing with. It's a lot of stuff. And she's got a gigantic bow on the back of her. This kind of worries me, this look. It's very childlike. She looks like a 7-year-old child at play school. Again, it's kind of very juvenile. Giant bows on the back, feels like costume, and this is the ready to wear collection. This is not the crazy haute couture. This is what you're meant to be walking around in. And again, a very childlike, gigantic bow on the back. She may as well have like a giant lollipop and be done with it. And again, much for muchness, and again, much for muchness. Slightly different. Now we've gone with the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland with dog. This is what is this floofy stuff? Do not know. Quite like the corset, or maybe no. I was going to say stomacher, but they're triangular. So this is corsetry, sort of. I like the pleating. I like the underskirt. I like the shoes. Not a fan of the jacket. Like the gloves. Don't like the dog really, but interesting. And okay, now we're going to get loads of the same thing in the same colours. Okay, we've got a blue version, and yeah, okay, okay. We've changed slightly now. Now we've gone with the Teletubbies spots. Again, really juvenile, and this I want to call it a hat, but I think it's just a disc with a hole cut out for it, so it kind of looks like she's an egg. And maybe you could put some glasses on here, like to serve drinks with it. But massive dots all over it. Really not sure about this at all. It's actually kind of fun, sort of. I can imagine she's out on holiday, maybe, in some tropical place. Again, ready to wear collection. Ready to wear. Lots of weird shapes and really sort of primary colours, but like not primary colours, but pastels, but juvenile, carrying this toy dog thing. It keeps reminding me of like kids and play school and art projects and stuff. And this is not a hat, it's just a disc with a hole cut in it. These are expensive, you can drag them around, but I don't think people are going to be buying them. Again, similar stuff. We've got a long trench coat. I like the shapes going across it. It's an indication of good tailoring, and they know how to cut things so they stay in line, which is cool. But this is a giant polka dot. And it's a polka dot, but with just 2 polka dots, which I quite like. She's got shopping and giant polka dots, smaller polka dots, juvenile kid stuff, disc on the head, dragging the ruffly thing. Was she wearing the ruffly thing earlier and now she's in this? I don't know. Do not know. Could be, because she's wearing the yellow. Could be. No, my theory broke down. I thought she'd be wearing the blue socks, but she's not. This is better because it's shorter and easier to deal with. Again, a kid's sort of weird bag, thing with a hole in it. It's very, very similar. Every look is very similar and done in like 20 different colours. But it keeps reminding me of kids' play time at school or something. Yeah, it could be interesting. You could have like maybe in a movie you could have like an assassin dressed like this, and then they suddenly pull out some katana, machine gun or something. But other than that, it looks very juvenile. And can you see yourself, if you are of the female persuasion, can you see yourself dressing up as this and walking out of the house? Is this, this is the ready-to-wear collection. I have to keep reminding myself, ready-to-wear, this is what you're meant to wear. There you go. Can you see yourself walking around town, going to see your friends, going for drinks? I don't think so. I don't think so. Much of muchness. Right, and very, very similar. Everything is very similar. Okay, so we've got something slightly different. I like the jacket. I like this, but again, polka dots. It's nice the way it's cinched in. It's more interesting. She's certainly more engaging, I think. She looks more edgy. She looks more present. She looks less childlike. I think it's good. And yeah, again, this is quite nice. She looks more sort of, I'm going to say saucy, insouciante, something like that. I like the shoes, actually. Those are nice. She looks more edgy and interesting and her own person. I quite like this. Yeah, that's quite good. And I don't like this. This is just far too much stuff. Far too much swirling and whirling, and the hair's crazy. And it's no good. Well, that's just ugly. The pants. What is that? Yeah, pulling them down won't help. Pulling them up's not going to help either. Let's just ignore that then. The jacket. It's all wonky donkey. Really is. What do we? Giant popcorn on some string. Giant popcorn string. Crazy hat. She looks like one of those ninjas from animes with the giant crazy hat. And again, ready-to-wear collection. Ready to wear. Really? I don't think so. And what do we got? Ready to what? Ready to do what on earth are you going to do this, wearing this? Ready to sing an aria on an opera stage, maybe. But where about town? I don't think so. And that actually looks least bad. And then we've got a Jacobean ruff going on. We've got a pants on show. We've got really low-rise trousers. We've got some sort of wonky donkey shirt going on. Tie is okay, but really too short. Shoes are on platforms. It's all a bit much. Let's have the last little look. This guy's liable. This is obviously Tom Brown, and that explains a lot. Explains a lot right there. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. and your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, and yeah, you may as well stay at the back. And these hairy legs. Brilliant. Well, there you go. Yeah, join the membership if you fancy it. Like and subscribe. And there's super thanks if you want to give me money for rum. I don't know, it's always fun. And I will see you guys later.